How many dates you should give someone before deciding it is not a match? First of all, you have to adjust your attitude. If, for example, from the very beginning you believe she is not the one because she is only 1 meter and 60 centimeters tall and you usually date taller women, or you believe she is 32 and that's too much and you usually prefer to date someone who is in her middle to late 20s, and you go on this date with the attitude that she's not the one, but I haven't found someone better, so I will kind of give it a try. Or for example, my matchmaker tries to convince me to go out, but I know that she is not the one. Well, you go on that date to waste your time and her time, because you have already decided deep down that she is not the right person for you, and you go out on this date only to find those negative scenes to prove that you were right, because we all like being right. You want to find the proofs, even sometimes to prove your matchmaker wrong, to tell that, see, Svetlana, she was not the one. I've told you so. I didn't feel any chemistry. If you go out with this attitude that she is not the right person because she doesn't tick this or that box, well, you won't build any chemistry. Your date will feel it, that you're not really present, that you're not into her, that you don't invest much effort. So you have lost before even the date has started. It is really important to be open-minded when you go out on a date and to think this way that, oh, I might meet someone really special. Who knows, maybe this is the first date, or that will be the beginning of a beautiful, lasting, meaningful relationship that will lead to marriage. But at the same time, don't think that, wow, right now I'm meeting my future wife. It can lead to marriage, who knows? So you have to try to build this mindset that I'm curious, I'm open, and I have the time to get to know this woman, and I will give her a chance, time to get to know me better. So when you go out on a first date, think of it that this is just the first acquaintance, and I'm giving myself at least 3 to 4 dates. I'll try to get these 3 to 4 dates with this woman to get to know her better. Because you know what? Chemistry is built and not just found. Because let's be honest, first dates are usually quite awkward. You try to get to know each other better. She is literally a stranger. You don't know her sense of humor. She doesn't know your sense of humor yet. And you try to find topics, you try to find things you have in common. And deep down you know that she is evaluating your looks and she knows that you are evaluating her looks. So don't be too harsh on yourself and your date. This is just the first date. If you have this mindset that I have to make up my mind whether she is the one, whether she is the love of my life, whether I can see myself marrying this person right on the first date, too much pressure. Most likely you will think that she is not the one, because at the end of the first date it's impossible to build like a crazy strong connection. Some people, yes, they fall for the looks really quickly, but this is just the shallow infatuation. When you find someone hot and you believe that she is compatible just because you feel attracted. This is not a good long-term strategy if your goal is to build a long-term relationship. Instead of concentrating on things you do not have in common, or instead of concentrating on those feelings in your stomach and looking for the sign from the universe, try to concentrate on things you like about your date. If there is compatibility and if there is mutual interest. The goal of the first date is to get an invitation for a lady to her second date, and for a man to get a yes when he invites a woman to the second date. If you build this habit not to judge based on the first date, to remind yourself that I'm giving this acquaintance at least 2 to 3 dates before I can think if there is actual potential, then you will notice that people you are meeting are actually way more interesting, and dating is way more exciting, because when you just go purely on first dates, connections are very shallow. you do not give yourself and your date a chance to actually get to know each other better. Because you know what? We like people who like us back, and it is really important to give your date a chance to get to know you, different sides of your personality. And it is humanly impossible to discover all this during your first date. If we are talking about a scenario when the two of you live in different cities and you have started with video dates, I would say that it is crazy to try to jump into any conclusions till you have met offline. If you have managed to have 2 Zoom dates or 3 Zoom dates, then for sure you have things to discuss. Because like talking to someone for like 30-40 minutes online using video, well, you have to have things in common and you have to have some interest there to pull this off. So meet offline. Don't try to look for a signal like butterflies in the stomach when you talk per video. It's just a video call. Healthy chemistry will gradually appear, and usually it comes on the date number 3 and 4, and then it grows. Of course, it can happen that you had 3 dates and you still didn't build any chemistry. Well, it is life. Or you will find out that you are not compatible because you support different political parties. It can happen too. This is why you have to go out on dates and actually communicate and try to watch your date interact with the world around her, like how she talks to the waiters, how she responds to different situations, to her mood, because like first date we bring certain mood and attitude. Second date, she slept better, she can show up in a totally different mood, as can you. So it is really important to give yourself a chance to watch each other in different situations, in different moods, because even if you like change meeting in the evening to meeting during lunch breaks, you can see differences in attitudes and in personality. As a professional matchmaker with over a decade of practical experience in introducing singles, I can honestly tell you that first dates are hardly an indicator if you are compatible. Give yourself 3 to 4 dates. If you need more time, you can go out on 5 dates with the same person. It's hardly a relationship yet. And for your date, it's also important to see if she feels compatibility there, if she feels potential. You're not the only one who is choosing. But people pressure themselves into trying to feel a strong connection and decide whether this person is the one or not the one at the end of the first date. It's not really smart. I have seen so many couples that are happily married now and have kids, and after the first dates, they were kind of skeptical about the idea of a second date because they didn't feel chemistry or butterflies, or the date, in their opinion, was boring because, for example, she had to do most of the talking or he had to do most of the talking, or they have found out that they don't share for example, interest in playing tennis, and they saw that, oh wow, it's so crucial, I can't be with someone who doesn't like playing tennis. But then they have actually listened to our advice and they went out on a second date, keeping the right attitude, staying open-minded, and it turned out that they have this and that in common, and it turned out that their dating partner has relaxed a little bit and their humor is quite similar. And then they went out on a date number 3, and it turned out that their vision about future, family life, kids is very similar. And if they have dismissed their dating partner after the first date, they wouldn't have been able to find this out. Of course, if during the first date she tells you that she doesn't want to have children and you want to have children, it is a priority for you, it makes 0 sense to go out on a second date. But if the first date went well, it was an okay date, no fireworks, but you haven't noticed any opposite directions regarding your future plans or values, go out on a second date. Do not deprive yourself of this chance to get to know a woman in front of you. Also, pay attention on mutual interest. Is she interested in getting to know you better? Because, well, mutual interest, it's quite rare. We all like to think that everybody will be willing to date us. That's not the case. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you will think about changing your dating strategy, your attitude, because singles who change their attitude to first date and they don't try to decide whether this is my type of person or not my type of person on the first date. Instead, they give themselves and their date a chance to get to know each other, and they go out on 3 to 5 dates. These singles, they find love and build healthy, lasting, meaningful relationships. My name is Svetlana Mucha. I am the founder, the leading matchmaker and dating coach at Diolli.com boutique matchmaking service. Right now is the time to press like, to subscribe to our channel, to support us by becoming a sponsor if you like our content. Also, you can request a complimentary consultation with a matchmaker by pressing the link below this video. I wish you lots of smart love. Bye.